3,000. And then, of course, we'd be looking for either renting this from whoever we sold it to or finding a new place. And that's it. Any questions? Jim?
Do we really have to do what the insurance company suggested? For instance, the sprinkler room hasn't been heated ever since this place was built. And it's never been a problem.
Well, where we see that, because that's a great question, do we need to address these things? The real issue comes to is if we do have a freezing pipe in that room, you know, we have no claim to make against the insurance company because they've already addressed it with us.
So they're trying to get out from under.
How about wrapping it with heat tape? Would that be sufficient?
That's a good question. Maybe wrapping the pipes with heat tape. Meg?
The units that are all, that have to be, if you're thinking of it as breaking out into a one whole 6A, what is it, 6A, 6B, 6C, or whatever, is that like breaking walls, knocking down walls and a big build-out for that? No.
Not a huge build-out. It's not a huge build-out. I think they're already together. But we just think that it's more marketable as one unit. And the ease of renting to one tenant versus three tenants.
Yeah, my question is just, is it a lot of money to get that from
No, we're not looking at a big expense to do that. Right.
I was going to say, just for the clarity, what is 6A, B, and C? Is it where we did the mandala? Is it the former dance studio? Just so we know.
Uh,
So is it unit 5 is the dance studio?
yeah.
And I think 6,
Where Divine Paradigm is, it's over on this side. Yeah.
Where the healing connection used to be?
Yeah.
and 2 of the front units on this side are 2 of the 6s. So they actually connect all the way through the building. If that makes sense.
Right. So Unit 5 is where the mandala was. Right, Peter? Yep. And Unit 6A, 6B, and 6C is on the other side of,
You get to 6C from the front here, right? Peter? 6C is from the front. Yeah. Former healing connection.
yeah.
And then the next door after the 6C door is 6A.
6A.
That was a recording studio.
Photography studio. Right. And then 6B you get to
Is in the back.
right up the back. But on the inside, it's kind of like they're all connected.
They're all connected.
That connects all the
They share a bathroom, so that's the other issue with that. So it has to be a certain clientele that would be open to that. We have another mic.
Where's the other hand? Mike?
Oh, here it is.
Can you tell us what changed that we went from such financial crisis to looking quite good?
Well, it's really attention. I mean, you have to keep in mind there was one person trying to do two things, run Spirit on the River and do this, and keep up with all of that. We're 3 people that have gone through all of the finances, gone through all of the protocol to get to this point, and really putting an effort into getting the units rented. It's just, Spirit on the River needed the board of directors, and we've been struggling with that. So this is where all of you guys come into play, is volunteers is what makes it happen,
And volunteers with expertise in the subject matter. It's really important. Over the decades, we've had willing volunteers to serve on Spirit, but many of them real estate and property management was not their forte. So while it's good to have people volunteering, it's even better to have people
for whom this is their, like I said, realm of expertise. Since we also raised this issue a few months ago, we had some donations earmarked specifically to help Spirit on the River. So that helped with some of the catching up as well. Was there somebody here who had a hand up that I missed? Okay, I'm gonna come over to Peter, and then here. What?
Hi, I'm just curious about Lev 8 Labs. How recently did this come up? Is that part of why the finances improved?
Well, it's part of, because of the first rent and security deposit helped us to get to, about $4,000 of that. They're a really dedicated organization. Their financials were right in line with what we were looking for, and their agreement to sign a 5-year lease. No, it's been in the process. This has been, again, like Ogun said, our board president, Terry Norian, is in the real estate business. Christian, our treasurer, has experience in property management and in mortgage financing, and my background has been in property management and building materials my whole life. So we just seem to be able to click and make things work. Yeah.
And it's like he was saying, the process of negotiation with them was going on for longer, but we've learned to wait till the ink's dry before we declare what's happening. So, I think the last time we shared something about this, I got all excited because there was, talk of maybe the preschool wanted to, perhaps purchase or even expand into the dance studio, and negotiations were going on, and then they decided that's not what they wanted to do. So rather than do the roller coaster of, hey, here's what might be happening, oh, this is not what's happening anymore, rather than do that emotional roller coaster to you, I have learned, and the board has been really helpful in teaching me to just don't say nothing until we got something to actually say. So that's why you may not have heard about that rental much before.
Yeah,
now.
and that's a great point, because we have other people that have been interested, and they just did not meet the standards that we are requiring for new tenants. And sometimes we get a little further into the process, and sometimes we just say no. It's not a fit, and it really needs to be a fit. And that's always been the goal of Spirit on the River, that it has to be a fit with our mission and vision as Unity on the River, to be, to be centered, to be a company that really appeals to the greater good, and that's really what we're looking for. And as a member of the board, our direction is to accept only those applications that meet that criteria and are willing to give us financial statements. We have a realtor who is our leasing agent, and he is actively pursuing. We've had several people that have applied, and they just were not a fit.
This is just an observation. If you sold the 3 units that are all the 6s, you might not have to take down the walls. You could maybe sell it as is if the new renter liked the space as it is.
Yeah, and so the one issue with selling just part of it is it's only going to appeal to certain people, and those people might be somebody like Lev 8 Labs who decides that they want to own their property. And the way this condominium association is.
Rent it as it is, not sell it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Maybe it doesn't need any changes.
Again, if that's what transpires and we get 3 tenants or 2 tenants that.
No, one tenant that likes the space as it is.
Oh, yeah, that would be ideal.
It might be possible.
That definitely is a possibility. Yes, thank you.
I haven't noticed lately, but I'm wondering if the old dance studio sign is still on the roof, and if so, why? Because I feel like that's free advertising for them that they really don't deserve.
Great point. I had mentioned this to Terry a little while ago, and she said yes, they're going to look into taking on the signs from the previous companies that or organizations that no longer exist. So that's been addressed.
Thank you. Tom, in summary, if we sold everything, we would net 1.3?
Correct.
Okay, and if we, let's see, if we keep this as our church, we would have 400 and something, did you say?
481,000.
481,000, and we still have no building, and we still have a lot of repair work that needs to be done. Parking is still an issue. I left the other night, and when Gianna was here, and I could hardly get out into traffic on the left on a Wednesday night. So we still have all those issues, and when we have speakers like Don Miguel or whomever, and the public comes in, it's a challenge to come in here. So we could rent this space if we sold everything, or the new people were willing to have us as renters. Is that correct? A possibility?
If we sold everything,
That's an alternative. That's an option.
yeah, and it's Unity on the River's desire to stay here,
Yeah.
then that could be a part of the negotiation of the sale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have we got an exploratory team to see what space we need, size-wise, and how much it would cost?
Yeah, if we do, it's not on
Not
Spirit
yet.
on the River. It's not in our wheelhouse
Okay. Okay.
at this moment, unless you tell us
You know,
to
I
do
see
that.
us going in a new direction. We're 25 years young, and I would like to throw out there that we look for new space. That's my statement.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Joanne.
Any other questions? Then thank you, Tom, very much for your time and attention to this. Please thank the rest of the Board of Spirit, Christian, Terry, and Malik. Tina, you had some couple things to share, or is it me sharing? I forget who's doing what. Did you want to? I think you should. I think you should. I'm volunteering you.
So to answer your question, as the board, we're just waiting for everything to get aligned before we can even put a vote out to sell. So right now, we're just kind of, that's in a later talk, because we don't even know, everything is not all together yet. So this. We haven't put numbers on. Right. So right now, this is our home, and this is where we're staying until further, when everything is equal, then we'll have a conversation about that and see where we stand. Right now, from a church standpoint, I don't have numbers. I assumed that Stan was going to be here, our account person.
Or treasurer.
Treasurer, yes, that's the word. So last month, I know that we were $5,000 lower than the previous March. So income coming in was substantially lower, and our expenses did exceed our income in March. We're looking, I don't have the numbers for this month, but we'll be having a meeting this week and see where we stand after our celebration. We had a lot of financial prosperity happening over our celebration, so we're hoping that things even out. But this is just a great opportunity for us all to step in and look at our commitment to our community and see what we're called to do.
Any questions of Tina or myself? Then, did you have a question? Then as always, we are available. Take your calls, your emails. If you ever want to, again, come to a board meeting to ask a question of the board personally, just let us know ahead of time. We don't take drop-ins, but you are always welcome. Call before you show up. And our board meetings are open in that way. So then, if that's all, thank you very much for coming to be updated. And as Tina said, continue to ask ourselves and each other what's ours to do to continue to invest in our spiritual community. And again, thank you, Tom. If you have any more specific questions, the three of us will hang out here for about another 10 minutes. And that's it. Thank you all very much.
Thank
and
you.
enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon.